All right. Hi, moms. Welcome to the Stick It Girl Academy training for parents, specifically geared towards gym moms. And I hear from a lot of moms who say that their gymnast doesn't have a lot of confidence. And they ask me all the time, Coach Anna, what can I do to help increase confidence in my gymnast? And so that's where this training came from. I think you'll find this really powerful. And I hope that, this is really helpful and can help you in knowing where to go from here in order to help to raise confident gymnasts or a gymnast. Okay, so self-confidence is how strongly your gymnast trusts or believes in herself and her own abilities. Now, clearly having confidence is really important, but here's why. Here are the actual reasons why. When your gymnast has high confidence, it helps her recover and let go of mistakes more quickly. We know how important that is, especially if your gymnast is competing and she makes a mistake mid-competition. You want her to let that go so she can move forward and move on and finish strong. That's something that a lot of gymnasts do struggle with. They hold on to those mistakes, but the more confident she is, the more easily she can let go of things like that. The more confident she is, the more she can perform with less fear. So there is an inverse relationship between fear and confidence. So the higher her confidence is, the lower her fear is, and vice versa. The more fear she has, the lower her confidence is. And so you can see that building up confidence is so important for helping her fear. And this could be fear of a skill, fear of learning a new skill, even mental blocks. Confidence is so important to build up, to work on. Having high confidence helps your gymnast stay calm and composed so that she doesn't feel the nerves as much, or she knows how to manage them. It can help her take risks, go full out, trust and let go during competition. Give her that confidence to try new skills and not be so afraid. So she's taking those risks because she feels good about her skills and her abilities. She can fail and be okay with failure and making mistakes. And that's important because we all know that making mistakes is how a gymnast learns and grows. And gymnasts who are so afraid to fail, they don't give themselves that opportunity to learn new things and to really blossom as a gymnast because they're so worried about making the mistake. But the more confidence she has, the less worried they are about making mistakes because they know, hey, it was just a mistake, doesn't affect me. I can keep learning and growing. Okay, and then having high confidence helps her not to judge her performance so much. She just sort of goes out there and competes and doesn't worry so much about how well she does. And she doesn't use those external events like her coach's approval or what score she got or what place she got to determine how confident she feels. If she's confident, she feels good about herself regardless of those external events. So clearly confidence is so important for your gymnast. And you all know that because you all come to me and ask me, how can I improve or increase my gymnast confidence? Okay, so here is the thing. And this is where I hope you'll gain so much value from this training, is that much of your gymnast's belief system in herself comes from you. Subconsciously, she might not know it, and you might even think your gymnast doesn't listen to you or hear you. But subconsciously, you are one of the most influential people in your gymnast's life. Okay, and that's why I'm talking to moms today, because moms and female gymnasts, there is that bond that is very different than a dad and a daughter, which is still, there is a bond there, but it doesn't have quite this effect. So that's why I'm talking to moms. There was this Dove campaign, Dove soap, an ad that was done many years ago, and it was called Mothers and Daughters. And you can look it up. I would YouTube it after this. And in this campaign, what they did is they had a group of mothers and they asked them questions about their body image. So this was about body confidence. And they asked them to talk about things that they didn't like about their body. And so, the moms wrote, I don't like my legs, they're too fat, and I don't like my arms, they're too jiggly, and my eyes are too close together. And they all had this list of things that they didn't like about their body. Well, they took their daughters into a separate room and they gave those girls the same exact survey or questionnaire as their mothers. And what do you think happened? Right? So these girls were between like 8 and 12, I believe. these girls had to also answer those same questions and write down the things that they did not like about their bodies. Now they're between 8 and 12, they're young, right? What do you think happened? These girls, these daughters of these moms, when they compared their answers, and the moms actually did this, they handed their daughters' responses, and the moms compared them. They were exactly the same. Exactly. The mom said she didn't like her legs. Daughter said she didn't like her legs. Mom said her eyes were too close. Daughter said, I don't like my eyes. They're too close. Exactly the same. Now, these moms never criticized their daughters' bodies. They never said, oh, your legs are too big or your eyes are too close. Never. But they did talk about their own bodies in front of their children. Is this not so powerful to just know that what you say about yourself, the way you feel about yourself, the things that you say in front of your child, in front of your gymnast or your daughter, she is absorbing, she's picking up, and she is making it her own. Children under the age of 10, they cannot distinguish between what someone tells them versus like what they know is true. So if someone says to you, you're too small or you're too big or you're too whatever, she internalizes that and goes, oh, I guess I am that. Like she can't filter that out. Okay. So whatever you're saying about yourself, she is pulling into herself as her body confidence as well. And that was body confidence in that situation. But confidence in general follows the same way, right? How confident you are, what you are putting out there in front of your gymnast is what she is perceiving about herself. She is picking that up. You are the most influential person in your gymnast life. I want you to get that. Now, I don't say that to you to put a burden on you because I know we all have much to worry about when raising children, and we don't need another weight on our shoulders of, oh, great, now everything I do is going to influence my gymnast or my daughter. But you know what? In some ways, this can lift a burden of how do I make my, daughter more confident? What do I have to do? Like that whole thought process of what can I do to help shape her? You can just work on you. Okay, so that takes off that whole burden of what can I do for her? You can do for you. And by doing for you, by making yourself more confident, you're actually going to raise a more confident gymnast. Okay, so your goal then is not so much to worry about your gymnast, it's to worry about you. It's to focus on you and work on your own confidence. Okay. All right. Also know that you can't give your gymnast confidence. It's not something, you can take like magic wand, glitter wand, and like put glitter dust all over your gymnast with confidence and say, okay, here you go, it's yours, right? She doesn't inherit it. It's not genetic. Confidence is learned. It's a learned skill. It's something she has to work on for herself, but you can shape her environment to help her foster that self-confidence from within. Just like that Dove campaign, what you do, your daughter picks up on. So the more confident you are, she learns, okay, I guess I'm confident, or this is how I should be confident. So she picks that up. Now I want to just give you a little sort of thought circle here, or thought pattern that happens. And this is, in the psychology literature, is that how you think shapes how you feel, which then changes the way your body responds or reacts, which creates how you act or your behavior. Okay, so if your daughter is thinking, I'm not, so good at this, maybe she's heard you say that and she's thinking, I'm not so good at this, she's not going to feel so great about herself. In her body, she's probably going to have not confident body language, chin down, chest forward. She's not going to feel good about herself. And in truth, she's not going to do well. So her confidence isn't going to match, or her thoughts are going to match what happens in real life. So if she thinks she's not good at it in real life, she's not going to be so good at it because of this entire pattern. Can you imagine if we target this thought? Instead, we give your gymnast this feeling of being confident that she can do it. And she's getting this from you. She's absorbing it from you. I can do this. I can do hard things. I can try and keep trying and get it. How is she going to feel? She's going to feel better about herself. She's going to feel empowered. This is going to cause her body language to be much different, more confident. And then she's going to get whatever it is that she's trying to do. She's going to get it because she's in that empowered state. All right. So if we can influence that thought, that belief system that she has, there's this ripple effect of what it can do for her in her gymnastics career and in her life. So her confidence starts in her mind. It comes from her thoughts and beliefs about what she thinks is possible. Okay, so how can you shape her environment? You can do that through your verbal and nonverbal communication. So I have pictures here of, Olympic gymnasts and their moms. And I love this one with Aly Raisman and her mom, because I think of those videos of her mom and her dad, like in the audience watching her, Aly do her Olympic, routines or any competition really, and how they're like holding their breath, and I think, gosh, they are so not modeling confident behavior. But the truth is, as a parent watching your gymnast, right, you want what's best for them. You want them to do well, and you're sort of holding your breath and you're nervous and you're worried for them. But that sort of behavior is not going to help your gymnast. Now, luckily, Aly wasn't like staring at her parents doing that, but you can imagine if that was something she saw out of the corner of her eye, she'd probably feel less confident about herself. So just remember, you can shape your gymnast environment, and your behaviors, your words, your actions, they matter. Okay. So verbal communication, this is how we help to raise more confident gymnasts and to model that behavior, is through our verbal communication. That's what you say out loud to your gymnast. And this is what you say out loud to her, either as it relates to yourself, if you're talking about your own self, or what you say directly to her about herself. Okay, just remember that the words that you say out loud become your gymnast's inner voice. All right. So do you ever find yourself saying things like this? These are just examples. Oh, you're okay. You're okay. You're fine. You're okay. Why don't you just quit? Practice makes perfect. Whenever we use that word perfect, right, we're setting her up for failure because no one is perfect. So watch the word perfect. What's wrong with you? Or what's wrong with you? Are you okay? What's wrong with you? Why can't you be more like your sister? Why can't you be more like your teammate? Or you should do this. Whatever phrase comes after you should, when you're telling her what she should do. So those are all things that can undermine your gymnast's confidence, right? When you say, oh, you're okay, but she doesn't feel okay, that undermines her confidence. When you say, why don't you just quit? Like maybe you see her injured all the time. My mother used to do this to me all the time. I was injured so much as a gymnast. Every single time I'd come home with something else that was hurting. Anna, why don't you just quit? Why don't you just quit already? And I know it broke her heart because she hated to see me that way. But her saying that didn't help me because I love gymnastics. I didn't want to quit. And I didn't want to be injured, but I was okay with it because I wanted to keep going. Again, practice makes perfect. Watch the verbiage, watch that word perfect. Practice makes, progress. That might be a better term. What's wrong with you? Make sure we're never saying words like that, right? We want to ask her what's going on, but not what's wrong with you. And then of course we don't want to compare her, and we never want to tell her what she should do. Okay. Whoops. Okay. Notice, so I kind of skipped this. I went backwards by accident. So also notice what you say out loud about yourself when your gymnast is around. So do you ever hear yourself saying things like this? I can't do this. This is hard. I hate my arms. I hate how forgetful I am, or I always forget. I'm not strong enough to open this pickle jar. I'm not good at this. I always make this mistake, or that was stupid. Do you ever say things like that to yourself, but out loud where your gymnast can hear you? Right? And I want you to think, what is something that you notice yourself saying out loud that is negative in regards to yourself? And I want you to stop it. I want you to notice it and stop saying it. Okay. Because remember, your gymnast is picking up on the way you feel about yourself. She feels that way too. So you want to make sure that you're working on that. Okay. All right. Now you want to make sure that you're praising your gymnast for her effort and not the outcome. Often gymnasts are so afraid to make mistakes, so they hold back. They don't try. But when you praise effort and not the outcome, it makes it okay for her to fail. Because when she fails, she thinks, all right, I tried really hard. Like mom thinks that's good. I tried hard. And so I failed, but I tried hard. I put in the effort. And so it's important that she knows that effort is important. And then that's what you are going to praise. All right. So you might want to say things like, I can see how hard you're trying. You're such a hard worker. I'm so proud of how much effort you're putting forward or forth. I admire your grit. You keep at it even when things are tough for you. Instead of, great job getting first on beam. I'm so proud of you for getting your kip. You are such a good gymnast. Now, it's not that you can't praise your gymnast at all. And obviously, if she's been working on a skill and you're like, I'm so proud of you for getting it, that skill, that's fine. Just make sure you tell her why you're proud of her. I'm so proud of you for getting your kip because I know how hard you've been working on it and you finally got it. And I'm proud of you for not giving up. Okay. That praises the effort and not just the outcome, not just the skill. Right? Great job getting first on beam. Well, that's an outcome. She can't control that outcome. And so when you keep praising that, and maybe she doesn't get first on beam, one time she's going to be like, oh, I probably, my mom's going to either be disappointed or I'm worthless because I didn't get first, or I'm not good enough because I didn't do it. All right. So we want to try to praise that effort and not the outcome. Okay. Also love her unconditionally, which I know, of course you do, but let her know that. Let her know that you love her unconditionally. So she needs to know that she is more than just a gymnast to you. Praise the qualities that she has, her innate, unique qualities. Say things like, I love you no matter what. You have such a great heart. You're an amazing big sister. You're such a thoughtful teammate. Praise those qualities about her that are her for who she is and not who she is as a gymnast. Now, in the Olympics, the 2020 Olympics, when Simone Biles couldn't compete, there was this picture that came out with this quote where she said, "We hope America still loves us." So when Simone couldn't compete, her biggest worry was like, is everyone still going to love me? Like I couldn't get the job done. I couldn't get the outcome. Are people still going to love me? And, that broke my heart because that's her having her worth be based upon her outcome and her results and what she can do as a gymnast, as opposed to who she is and how hard she tries. And gosh, she's done so much for the sport, but we don't only love her because she's amazing. Yes, we love her because she's amazing, but obviously, her parents love her for her. Like there's so many reasons to love her, but when she put her worth based on I am only as good as I can perform, then that broke my heart when she said, we hope America still loves us. Okay, the other way I talked about, you can shape your gymnast environment through verbal communication and also nonverbal communication. Okay, and nonverbal communication is what you don't say to your gymnast verbally, but you express with your facial expressions, some gestures, your body language, tone of your voice, and other physical indicators of your mood and your attitude. And it is so important that you, for yourself, model that confident behavior for your gymnast, but in your own behavior. So check your own body language. Maybe when you're, trying to do something hard, do you look like you're not confident? Are your shoulders down? Are you upset? Are you disappointed? Do you show that in your body or your face? Do you have the resting face? Resting mom face. How do you respond to setbacks? Like, can you see that in your body? Can you see it through your body language, your facial expressions, your gestures, right? Do you look disappointed? Do you look like a victim? Do you act like a victim? Do you get depressed? Do you blame others? Do you have a scowl on your face? Do you yell? What are things that you do non-verbally that can affect, what your gymnast sees and interprets? Because remember, she's soaking that all in and making it her own. Okay. Then what are your nonverbal cues when you interact with her? So not just yourself, right? When you're upset about something, how you respond in your body, but how do you respond to your gymnast? So when she talks to you, do you seem distracted? Are you not really paying attention to her? Are you looking at your phone? Are you on your computer? That indirectly tells her that she's not important enough or worthy enough of your time. That can undermine her confidence. Do you have an annoyed look? Are your arms crossed? Are your hands on your hips? That can indirectly tell her that she did something wrong or that you're disappointed in her. Are you mirroring her lack of confidence? Now, as her mom, in order to raise a confident gymnast, you always want to lead. You don't want to reflect or mirror back. So if she's disappointed, if she's sad, are you going there? Are you looking sad too with her to model her behavior? Instead, you want to lead with that confident behavior. Even if she looks sad, you want to show her, you want to lead and show her where she should be. So if you're doing that, if you are modeling what she's doing when she's not feeling so confident, then you're reinforcing her lack of confidence. Okay. Bottom line is, are you sending your gymnast messages that you're either disappointed in her, annoyed with her, frustrated, or just not feeling confident in her abilities? All right. So in summary, just remember that self-confidence has to come from within your gymnast, but you have this ability, this powerful ability to shape her environment and really be an influence in her life when it comes to fostering self-confidence. She picks up all of your cues. She picks up that confidence that you have for yourself and makes it her own. And so it's important that you model confident behavior. You're mindful of your thoughts and the words that come out, and that you work on your confidence first, because that is the best way that you can help to raise a confident gymnast. Okay, so that's all I have for this topic. I want you in the discussion here to let me know, what was your most powerful moment? What is your biggest takeaway from this training? What is something that you're going to remember and try to do more often so that you can help to raise a more confident gymnast?